Welcome to MBA Mental Boost. This is your coach, Dr. Rosie, and today we're talking about ice and fire. So this was a conversation I was having with a client earlier, and you know when you have conversations and you're like, oh, like it's like a light bulb. Now, normally this happens on the client side, but this was really happening on my side where I'm like, oh my God, I think we're really onto something. It was how I planned his session out, but then when it came to life and we were having this conversation, my mind was like, oh, this is it. So many people talk to me about wanting to have this like inner calmness and then outer aggression. And we work a lot on that. I mean, with a lot of people at the beginning, we work on the mentally decluttering. And then we often go to the confidence side, and, aggression is a word that comes up time and time again. And we're like dialing up that flame and we really work on that. And I think this is where ice and fire come in, and that when you can master both, this is when things get moving. So what I mean by this is the ice side is that sort of calmness, that focused on the present. It's where we feel that groundedness, that composure under pressure. It's the emotional stability, it's feeling in control. Now, I like to think of that as our baseline. So, when like we say about not getting too high, not getting too low, well, you need this baseline and you need to create that. So it's solid ice. And then the fire side is that aggression, that speed, that decisiveness, that confidence. That's the flame, and we can dial that up. If you have too much of the flame, things get chaotic. We feel out of control. If we have too much ice, now this analogy might not work. You're going to have to roll with some of my like tenuous links. But if we have too much of that, kind of calmness and stillness, then we can easily switch off as well. So we need, that I hate the word balance, so I'm not going to say it, but we need a mixture of the two. And also a mixture is right, because sometimes that fire is going to be a lot more than the ice, but we need to have the two components together, the two sides of you. And it might help to think about that kind of inner ice and outer fire, however it works for you. But I think this is such a good way to think about it. So if you can master creating that ice inside, and often that's, your mindset. So it's focusing on being present. It's focusing on being composed. It's focusing on emotional regulation. It's focusing on nervous system regulation. Then you can execute in a way that brings that fire. So that's where we take inspired action. It's where we move at, a faster pace. It's where we move with that aggression and that confidence and that dominance. You have those two, and then you have your daily discipline of your MHL, so your mindset, habits, lifestyle. This is where you become unstoppable. And this was where I was, writing down these notes, and I'm like, this is it. It's the ice and the fire. Now, ice might not be the term that resonates for you. It might be water or whatever it is. But you get the concept. And I think if we can simplify it, I'm just going to say ice and fire. It just makes it easier on the brain. That I like to say simplify to amplify. It's really, really important. So this actually is going to be a short voice note. I feel like every day I'm saying it's going to be short and then it runs on forever. But I want you to be thinking about, where can you be training that fire? Where can you be training for that controlled aggression, that dominance and confidence and assertiveness and, sorry, I'm saying and so much because my brain is rolling. That I don't script these. That, playing with conviction, using kind of words that my client was saying this morning. Where can you train that? Because you have to train it. It's not just about setting the intention and it's a one and done. You set the intention, you bring the energy. That's what creates it. But you have to do that day in, day out. So where can you train that fire? And then likewise, where can you be creating that foundation, that ice, that baseline, where everything is even keel, where you have a clear mind, where you feel in control, where you feel composed under pressure, where, you have this kind of inner calmness and groundedness and clear, you're going to play with freedom from that baseline. You're not going to get too high, not going to get too low. You just kind of come back. You make a shot, you miss a shot, it doesn't matter. You're back to that neutral. And actually, a friend was recommending a book. I know he listens to this podcast, so you might be listening to this, but he was recommending a book about neutral thinking. And I really like it, so I've just got that on the Kindle. But it's that kind of neutral. How can we have that state where we're not reacting, we're not getting, emotion, like we're not getting caught up in our emotions. We're feeling grounded and we're feeling controlled. Just focusing on being present. Sorry, my brain is whirring with so much that I want to tell you. But I think if we can have the two together, this really is where you're going to be powerful. So just for today, as you go throughout today, be thinking about, it all begins with that intention. So where can I be intentionally dialing up that flame? Where has it maybe been kind of flickering a little bit, so that I can then take control of it, take charge of that aggressive, dominant, confident side. But then equally, we can't have too much of it. So where do I need to be? I don't know what we'd say about ice, making it colder. Where is it melting? Where can we be just making sure that it's like solid? It's ice solid, sorry. This is the downside of me not scripting. My brain then kind of goes off. But where can we be just making sure that that's solid, so that we've got that baseline, so that when we overthink or we hesitate or whatever, it's no big deal. We just bring it back. You have to train that. So where can you create fire today? Where can you be solidifying that ice? And the two together is what makes you unstoppable. I would love to know your feedback from this. This is an idea that I'm kind of just rolling with because it came up today. But the more that I'm thinking about it, and, I love to write and get these thoughts down, which is why I was like, okay, I need to put it on the podcast, get this out of my head and share it with you. I'd love to know your feedback and your thoughts on this, but having that ice and fire working together. I hope wherever you're up to, you are having a great day, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of MBA Mental Boost, the secret weapon to supercharging your performance on the court. If you found today's episode useful, don't forget to subscribe and share. You can connect with me over on any social platform. You can find me at Dr Rosie Mead. Until next time, go out there and dominate using the power of your mind. This is Dr Rosie, signing off.